Hi, good evening or morning, wherever you are. So, I want to ask you to do a little bit of imagining for just a second. Right? I want you to think about an ideal project that you could be invited to participate in starting Monday. You know, and yeah, as you think about that project, what are some of the features? What are some of the elements that you would want in that project? Now, the reason I'm asking that is that for many of us, our mindset, our philosophy, and yes, our behavioral style or preferences, behavioral preferences, will have dictated some of the features in that ideal project. And the reason why I have raised this is that today we want to be talking about unlocking buying. We want to get people to come willingly, come excitedly into projects, ideas that we have. We want to say, yes, this is a great thing, come and participate. However, their willingness or eagerness will be impacted by their behavioral preferences, by their mindset. And so that's our engagement today. We want to look at that, and I want to share with you some magic words. Yeah. So if you go back to the exercise of thinking about the project, that ideal project that you could be engaged in on Monday, the persons who want to bring you on board should highlight those elements, those factors, which will then endear the project to you. So essentially, the person who has your ideal project and want to bring you on board needs to have a better understanding of your mindset, your behavioral styles. That's the exercise that we are engaging. I am Trevor E.S. Smith. I am with the Success with People Academy, and I will be your guide through today's Success with People livecast as we seek to find ways, magic words, it says here, to help you to unlock buying, how to motivate individuals who have different approaches, different behavioral styles. That's what we want to look at. And I want to suggest to you that getting buy-in is something that can be challenging. It can be challenging to get your child to do what it is that you want them to do, or your spouse, let alone someone at work or at play. Yeah. So you want the game to go a particular way, and no, your teammates no don't agree. So people have different perspectives, and that's fine. Where it gets even more difficult is that they also have different ways of communicating, and so getting through that communication hurdle and then also now trying to change their mindset, it's not so easy. And so getting buy-in is a constant challenge. However, in this edition of the Success with People livecast, we want to share some insights that will guarantee that at least you have a better chance of getting buy-in based on a deeper understanding of the behavioral style of individual, and also then words, concepts, phrases, approaches that will make it easier for you to get buy-in consistently. I want to talk about discerning communication, this model that we have, the discerning communication model, a discerning model of communication and leadership. All right, so if I just take a minute, please, to just talk about me and where I am in this process. So years ago, really, literally, 2 decades ago, I was introduced to the DISC framework. The DIS, dominance, influence, steadiness, conscientiousness, and how that impacted relationships, how that impacted behavior, and you know, it exploded in my brain because I saw immediate applications of the framework in my own family, in my relationship with my children, etc. And so I dug deep into it, tested it out, and since then, I've really not only studied but created a whole vast library of content around the model. We have now called it the discerning model of communication and leadership. So there are books that I've written, and just on LinkedIn alone, there are over 331 or 32 articles and newsletters that I published over the years. So I have immersed myself in this model, this framework. But the question then is, of what use? So we have done it. What is the benefit? The fundamental benefit that I have found is that I'm in a position to understand people more readily and at a deeper level. Again, I am Trevor E.S. Smith. I'm with the Successful People Academy, and I was speaking about the whole question of discerning model of communication, and the ultimate value to me is that I'm able to understand people at a much deeper level. I can more readily relate to different styles. I understand how to communicate with different people based on their preferred way of communicating. So that's the thing. It to me, behaviorally, it would be as if I could speak different languages to people, so that I could actually speak in their preferred behavioral language. That's it. But let us move on now to how it is that we can get buy-in. Okay, so we want to look at the 4 different classifications, 4 major classifications, which is dominance, influence, steadiness, and conscientiousness. So when we look at individuals who have a preference for this style behavior, and we look at some of the characteristics, they're a little bit more daring, maybe demanding, more direct, more decisive. Those are some of the characteristics. So independence, want to take charge, want to make things happen now as against later, right? So if we're trying to get buy-in for this kind of individual, this person who has this mindset, this behavioral style, one of the key things then is to consider a challenge. Individuals who have a preference for this style behavior love challenges. They want to take on the world. They want to be the best that they can be. They want to compete. So the whole idea is, if you can position your project, whatever it is that your idea that you have, if you can position it so that it is a stretch target, and this has never been done, and this is a first, and this would be a breakthrough, and you would be a hero, you would have solved one of the world's major problems. All of that goes to the heart of how individuals who are in this style mode think. They want to win, they want to achieve things that have never been achieved, they want to have a legacy of high levels of success. The other thing would be then, in a similar vein, is winning, victory, competition. So you want also to speak to that side of the project, that side of the idea, that this is an opportunity to win. Let's just say that you can get an edge over the competition, because winning is important. Winning is a high priority um, activity or objective for individuals in this style mode. And the key, though, is not only to sell it, but to show that this is also important for you and that you have the capacity. It'd be great if you have a track record of success as well. That's gonna get you buying. And then the other thing would be change. These style, tend to walk around with a screwdriver in their back pocket, looking to see what they can fix and change, etc. So yeah, anything about changing the status quo, um, visionary ideas, something exploring new opportunities, that also resonates with your D style colleagues. So position this thing as new ground, new adventure, activities that's going to change things, make a huge difference, and winning success at the end of the day, there will be laurels. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. The I style. Huh? I style, outgoing, people oriented. Yeah, that's the style that want to innovate, want to influence people, want to be creative, uh, want to interact, want to be connected closely with people. Right? So those are some of the features of how you would identify high style individuals. So the key here then is creativity. Create. The juices immediately start flowing when you give individuals who have a preference for high style the opportunity to create. Then that I'm looking to you to bring that creative genius that is yours and yours alone. I want you to bring that to the table. That's why I'm inviting you there. We need this wow factor. We need this innovation, this ability to see things the way that others don't see. That's why we're bringing it to the table. And that would get the juices flowing. The other thing, of course, is the connection. We mentioned that if this is going to be a nice, warm team where people are engaged and we can have fun as we go along, then of course, that's part of it. There's nothing wrong with enjoying the journey. And so include that as well, that there will be good, healthy social interaction. And guess what? Your connection, your people that you know, etc., will be involved. So the more you can bring in people that they know or like or would want to relate to, that would also help with it. So talk about the team, talk about who will be involved. Right? And then the third piece would be, here's this, I want to pause now, stop a little bit. One of the things that you could do, not just to invite your iStyle colleague to participate in the project, but to see if you can have them to understand that you want them to be a part of the promotion, part of the engagement. We want you to come in then on the ground floor, because what it is that iStyle brings to the table is this capacity to not only to accept things as an early adopter, but that keenness to share and to have others come in and experience what it is that they're experiencing. So that excitement is what you would want. So you want to say, hey, I want you to help me to recruit people, to share the idea, to sell the idea. And that's another way that you could get them engaged, because they not only want to experience it, but they want others to experience what they are experiencing. And so that's a win-win. Not only do you get them on board, but they're going to help to bring others on board as well. So, S-style, steadiness, right? So we have dominance, influence, steadiness, and of course we will soon look at conscientiousness. What is steadiness? This is people-oriented, more inward-looking, more reserved. So this is not necessarily outgoing, hi, I'm in the house. It's really about steady relationships, respectful, but deep, loyal connections. All right. So the S-style individuals also tend to have this milk of human kindness flowing through their veins. So there's a good Samaritan perspective. They really want to be helpful and to support processes. Uh, So it says here, I have written that they wear the badge, of honor, to be able to help. But it's not a arrogance. It's not a, oh, I've done this and oh, you should pat me on the back. It's not that at all. The philosophy is that this is who people should be. This is who I am, and this is who we ought to be when we take care of others, when we look out and make sure that we look after the best interest of everybody. That's what is coming out of a style thinking mindset. This idea that we should all not only just get along, but we should also be very mindful of what is happening to each other. Right? And so, if we are seeking individuals to come on board to a project, the aspects of it that we should be focused on is the capacity to help. The fact that this is going to do good, this is going to impact lives in a positive way. That's important. If we can help, right? There's a statement now that is saying that given how cynical the world is that instead of shouting for help if you're in trouble, you should shout for fire, because if you shout for help, nobody's coming. Fire, yeah, people might come. So, but the style individual thinks differently. They will come. That's where the idea of this Good Samaritan that I've inserted here, right? So, look at helping, impacting lives, making a difference when you're trying to get your style individuals on board. All right. The second word, and as you see when we're talking about these magic words, it's the magic concept. It's a aspect of the project that you want to emphasize. So again, now if you're looking at not just the helping but also the others, yeah, others is a big, big word. So we are concerned about people who have these challenges. Yeah? This will benefit this sector. This will take care of so and so. And as we go into the project, we are going to make sure that we include XYZ. That also resonates when the people component of your project is upfront, where people can see not only, are we going to be doing this, but here are some, we need to say spin-off, but here are some core benefits in terms of the human side of the thing. That, to me, is important when you're trying to bring individuals who have a C-style orientation. Here's that now. Be careful to be genuine. Hypocrisy or betraying confidence is a no-no with the style. Be careful. Do not breach the trust. Yeah. So you have to be genuine. It's not just sell the idea, okay, we're going to help these people, and then in the middle of the project, nothing like that happens. You have to be genuine, be true to your word. And that will also enhance the trust factor with these individuals. And then the next one will be, all of this is along the same track, as you can see, is that the project should have some purpose, some meaning, and it should be aligned with respected values, cherished values. Right? So frame your request in the context of some cause, some worthwhile mission that you're doing, and that's why you want them to come. That's the basis on which you're seeking by. And also make sure that while you have outlined the mission and the values, etc., you have to have some idea of how you're going to do it. The S style wants clarity as to the how. Yes? So you might say that they are bogged down by the tyranny of the how, but yeah, they want to know how we're going to do this. So you have to have those answers ready. Step by step, this is what it is. This is the support that you will get. This is what I'm expecting of you. And this is how you're going to discharge your responsibilities. So that needs to be clear upfront if you're going to get full support and buy-in from your S-style colleagues. All right? So let us look at or C style. So C style, task oriented and more reserved, more inward looking. So this is where you have your more a lot more caution, a lot more questions that are asked, reliance on systems, accountability, right? Making sure that we follow instructions and that instructions are clear. Those are some of the factors that are relevant in when you're looking at C style behavior. As I have mentioned before, in we at looking at toolkits, when we talk about a style, we're looking at behavioral toolkits that individuals use. So we can actually look into the bag of behaviors that we are calling C style behavior. And those are some of the things that we would see: caution, compliance, wanting, um, conscientiousness, yes, um, systems, structure, documentation, evidence, data. Those are things that are in the C style toolkit. And so one of the first things that we want to do then is data and evidence. Make your case based on that. Right? So maybe with your I style, maybe even with your S style, you could actually use personal characteristics. You could try to bring the person on board because of who you are and who the people are in the team. The C style is going to be a lot more challenging in terms of just not using personality. They want to know what it is that we're about. Has it ever been done? What are the, what data you can bring to the table to support it? Why is it necessary? All of those questions need to be answered, and you will get questions. So go prepared to answer. So have a clear plan, a clear case underpinned with data. That's important. All right. The second thing is the question of time. You can't avoid it. Individuals who have a preference for C style behavior, their toolkit as a protective mechanism around their time. Yeah. So how is it going to impact my time? How is it going to impact what it is that I have to give up because I have schedules? So that has to be discussed. What's the call on my time? How much time is required? And then the discussion about the cost benefit. If I come and join this, I have to give up so and so. What's the benefit then? Yes. And so C style goes through all of that. And you just have to be patient and provide good answers to their questions. Yeah. There's no rush here. You need to be clear and have data and have evidence and be willing then to come with logical answers to the question in order to get by. And critically, the C style also is in error avoidance mode. They don't want to make mistakes. They don't want to be part of anything. I don't suppose anybody wants that, but some individuals will take the risk to say, hey, okay, fine, I'm going to try something new, and if it doesn't work out, then we'll move on. That would happen in your D and in your I style thinking. The C style is a lot more cautious and really don't want to make mistakes. And so you're going to have to demonstrate your competence. You have to give me evidence of your capacity to do what it is that you're doing, some track record in that area. I don't want to get caught up in some guinea pig experimentation. I want to know that you know what you're doing, and that this process is tested, and that we have the wherewithal to do it. That's critical if you're going to get full C style buying. All right. So let us do a quick thing as to what we're looking at. So we're looking at the four behavioral styles, the four toolkits, the four bags of tools that we have to navigate through life. And we're saying if someone has a preference for using the dominance toolkit, challenge them, because challenging is important, winning is important. Be the first to do this. This has never been done. You know, you will be a hero if you, there'll be wonderful legacy afterwards. Win, win is important. So put some competition in it, and we want to celebrate victory, and then change. We want to. The status quo is never good enough for these style thinkers. So you want to show that this project is going to make a difference. It's going to change the status quo. The I style creativity. Make sure that that innovation that comes, naturally through I style thinking is brought to the fore. That's what you want them to bring to the table. That wow, that creative genius. You also want connection, because they want to be involved with others, right? So interconnection is great, and if you can find the right people, that's wonderful. And engagement. Have them try to sell the project. Yeah, invite them in at the early stage so that they can actually promote the idea or the project. The S style, steadiness, supportiveness, that's where we want to go. But helping, that idea, S style wants us to look after each other. And so the capacity to help others and to make a difference in people's lives, that's important. And so look at how it's going to impact people. Share who it is that will benefit from it and how it's going to change their lives. And of course, have some mission, some values that are that underpin the project. The C style, yeah, clarity. We don't want to make mistakes here. We want to make sure that things are done right. So we're going to have data. We're going to sell me on the basis that this is what we want to do, and this is why it makes sense. And here is the evidence to support that. How much time is it going to take from me? What are the implications? And should I, if I give up what it is that I need to give up in order to do this, what's the benefit? So there's a cost-benefit analysis. And then, of course, you better know what it is that you're doing and demonstrate to me that you can do that. All right. So that's it. So the bottom line basically is that if you incorporate these concepts, these deeper understanding of the individual styles, the preferences of the individuals, it's going to make a difference to how you can bring them on board. And that's part of the benefit of applying our discerning model of communication and leadership. It gives you a deeper understanding of behavioral preferences and words and actions and thoughts that resonate and things that are a turn off. And so I'm just suggesting that we could have a conversation around it, because this can be applied across so many different areas. I'm just talking here now today about buying, but giving instructions. How do you give feedback? How do you have more engagement in the team? How do you bring a team to perform at a much higher level? Those are some of the things that we do. We deploy this model as we work with individuals, teams, and organizations. And yes, we are franchise holders for Extended Disc and the Revolutionary Things platform. We also are technology boutique, and our Spike Strategic Performance Improvement and Knowledge Enabler multifaceted solution is available, supports our work. Right? And so we work heavily and focus on teams and team leadership, middle management, supervisors, and have them perform at much higher levels. We are SHRM recertification providers, which in this essence means that when we give out certificates, for example, it's backed by SHRM, and you can actually use those credits for SHRM recertification for your SHRM CP or your SHRM SCP. What it means in effect is that we operate at high international standards. Want to give you some access to a lot of content. I'm amazed sometimes when I look at the amount of material that I put out in cyberspace. But just want to share with you. So we have a YouTube channel, Extended Disc Solutions, where these live casts are available on YouTube. So it's Extended Disc Solutions. You can see it here at the top left. And then on LinkedIn, we have our Leadership DNA Club, which you could join and get ready access to the things. Also, our newsletter, Success with People newsletter, is on LinkedIn. When you go there, you will see you could access the 330 odd articles over time. I'm stunned, but those are some of the things that you could do. For me, seriously, I'm asking a personal favor. I'd like to get some feedback, some help. Really, I'm trying to understand, and I do these things, and every week we put out good, rich content. I want to understand a little bit more though about what's top of mind for you. If you could please just reach out to me, send me an email at info@successwithpeople.org. I would love to be able to have a conversation. Yes, I'm not selling anything. I just want to talk to you a little bit. Or you can just say to me, hey, Trevor, you've asked this. Here are some things that are top of mind for me. And what that would do is to help me to curate the content that is more relevant to you. So if you could just do me a personal favor, please send me an email to info@successwithpeople.org, and I'll be very, very grateful.